recently, the sub, what it kind of switches things up here. But when we look at the general map score right now, right, we've got Mirage overpassing Nuke. What are we really looking at when we look at this first particular matchup?
I think this map in particular can be very random, right? But now I feel like Big has an idea because they have a stand-in. It's easier to play Mirage.
And of course now it will be a slow start from Big. Spread out fairly default, as you know, very controlled pace by them. Heroic only just finding some information on underpass. Smoke's now throwing over to the A site. Slowly looking to move in, but if you look at the bomb on the top left side of your corner, on your screens, you do see the bomb rotating over to the B site. Keto with first blood here, that's a good start for Big.
Keto needs to go more aggro on A to get out some rotations from the Heroic guys on B, and that's where they want to end up.
So far, so good for Big. Tabson also open things up. Stavn trying to find something here for Heroic, but still, Big have been able to nestle themselves into that A site, finding themselves that damage, also finding themselves that space, and Searson is just holding back the rotations. Fabian on the back lines here. Great start for Big, 1-0 on the board.
I have to say, great mid-round calls by Big. You see them, they want to go to B, but they canceled their call and just played out the round and went back to A either way. Really good job from Big and Tabson there.
Good start, of course. These guys definitely want to get things started off strong here on their own map pick, and a very spread out approaches all across the board. But everybody seemed to be getting their picks early. It's good to see everyone alive on the server, and they've got a crowd in front of them. But you got to be sure that Heroic must be the favorites of this crowd.
Yeah, I mean, they are the nearest to this city is nearest to Denmark, so I would believe also I see a lot of, not a lot, but I see some Heroic jerseys here.
Yeah, there are some spread out here and there. Make some noise for the Heroic boys. All right.
There we go.
There we go. That's more like it. I know this is a bit of a long shot, but let's see if there are any Big fans out there.
There's one guy.
just a couple here and there. All right, okay, not too bad. All right, some sort of a start here for Big. A bit of a mowdown, to be fair. Heroic not standing too much of a chance with his pistols. A quick 2-0. Well, the Big fans can now rejoice.
Yeah, I would like to see, now we see Heroic by their first buy run, and like with full weapons, less nades, I think they might go for a aggressive play here, like they like to do that. Yeah, let's see. And it's not like a really bonus round for Big because they still have a lot of AKs and rifles, only one Mac-10. And they're trying to go for an explosive round on A, which is a good call.
Looking to start things off explosive, closer distances with those weaponry that they do have at their disposal.
Yeah, and Heroic have full mid information, and this is something we will see often.
They've gathered a lot of information, haven't they? I mean, they've cleared out all the way up to top mid. There's a smoke keeping them further back, but they might be missing the call now onto that A site. Now that the smokes and flashes are starting to move in, now they realize what's going on, but they're blocked out of it. Big starting to move in. That's the molly setting it in. But Heroic already on the wraparound, but it's Stavn and Shows through the smokes to find the first entries. Aggression here from Big, but even more aggression here from Stavn, walking himself into sandwich, but all of a sudden Heroic find themselves on top in numbers.
Good position from Refresh here, and they have one guy in A-apps behind them.
That's how Searson falls. Refresh on the back end, Fabian, and he dies as well. Heroic, very good response on Big's push.
That could have gone really wrong for Heroic if Big got the bomb down and they had no kits. So it's only like small margin, and they also got killed from the smokes. 2 kills, like gaps in smokes, which is unfortunate for Big.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky there, really, but it seems that Heroic are comfortable to move into discomfortable positions. Uncomfortable. Is discomfortable a word? I don't think it is. I'm just making things up on the spot here. But Big, okay. Fairly similar style of play, but Heroic looking to switch things up. Once again, early movement onto ramp. Clear of information. They know what's going on, at least by eliminating scenarios here. Mid-play seems to be what Big are going for.
This is so good from Heroic. We see Tessus in a very aggressive positioning, and he might get the bomb in T-spawn.
Just holding out. There is some criticism around Big, right? They do have a very controlled play style, but sometimes they're a little bit too controlled and often can be read. Something that we saw versus Astralis yesterday, right? And maybe could come victims to it again against Heroic unless they're able to find these quick adaptations to their play. Ito moving in now. First place of contact. Nice flash, shush to the side angle. Spray down is good for Heroic. Starting things off strong here. But 40 seconds, and Tessus has got such a good angle. I feel sorry for Dizzy. There's no way he expects this. Oh, but he does! Okay. Now Big with a solid opportunity. The A site is fully open for the taking now.
It seems like they want to go for a retake here. And also, again, they have one guy coming from behind.
This time it's going to be Cadian. Slowly walking in, the longer that Big take, the easy opportunity for Cadian to come in from behind. They're taking a long time. Searson is finding a lot of kills. That's the guy you want to stand up for this team, but look at Cadian. He could be the difference maker. Searson turns around in time, salvages it for Big. And now Refresh opted into a 1-on-2 commitment. Searson to the far right angle, while left is where he also needs to be checking. Searson, so down low, but still alive. Still pressure onto Refresh, looking for the shot, but it's Tapson to get it done. Big, keep it going.
Well played by Searson, not giving anything away and just playing the round to the max. Like, he's playing the odds. He's not trying to kill the last guy. He's trying to play like crossfire from his teammate who was in jungle. Really nice play. I think, though, they need to like kind of read what Heroic's doing. If they keep giving them the information, it will eventually go wrong for them. So I think they will start perhaps faking later in the match and wait for the rotations.
This time it is Big to take mid control fairly early on. Deep smoke onto connector as well as mid, and Heroic. Obviously we're talking about a pistol buy here, but Cadian has got himself an AWP to work with, and where Tessus is falling there, Stavn has got a good chance, but it's just to make it happen, which means Stavn, they've got no clue where he is. And suddenly this round may be fathomable for all them if they were able to scramble 1 or 2 picks. That's Tizian. Oh, shot goes wide. And Tizian holds on. Not looking grand here for Heroic. Big taking advantages of Heroic's mistakes and taking a round that should have been theirs to begin with.
They have them sandwiched.
Yeah, you're not locked in with Cadian. He's locked in with you. Of course, you'll definitely want to save that AWP. Big are fairly kind of not really willing to push for this. I mean, their economy still looking to build up here. Not too surprising, but Big playing it fairly slow. Golden, this is your first time on an English broadcast, the first time on an English cast. I mean, I know you've done stuff for the major in Swedish, but this is kind of a new thing for everyone. This is kind of what a lot of people have been expecting. You know, in traditional sports commentators, you know, usually being old players, old professional players. Do we expect something from you in the future regarding casting?
No, I still want to compete and, you know, try to get back to where I was before. But I really enjoy this, so I'm not, like, if I don't have anything in the future, I might go for this.
All right. Wouldn't be too bad.
I would like to see Big just keep doing what they're doing, but just leaving one guy in a random spot and just take out the rotations, because they have been flanked twice when they went to A. They must be thinking about it now, with knowing like Gobby and Tabson, like big brains. But yeah, I think that is their biggest weakness in their T-side right now.
They'll definitely want to be fixing that up quickly, but they've gotten themselves a solid start, not too bad. I love how animated Gobby always is. That coaching style, always getting his players pumped up, making sure they're feeling it, bumping his head.
He's going for it.
Make sure you hit heads, boys.
But also in CS, it's very important to always think what the opponent might do next round and not be stagnated. Because when you just keep doing your own stuff, and Heroics is such a good team that you can't actually read that well, because they're always doing some random stuff. And that is where like Gobby and Tabson will need to come in.
Heroic again. As you alluded to earlier, Really like taking early mid control, getting information as soon as possible, playing around it, but they're playing with limited utility this time around.
I must say, that was really good by Big. Even though it didn't look like much, they gave mid, gave them false information in mid, and then they retook it and they see no one. And they heard the flashes from Heroic, and that's why they went out late.
And they've got a good read on this now. Oh, Searson to open up the round. Testas wants a piece of this, but there's 2 players there. Could have been a 2-kill for him, but no. Quickly traded back. Big still on top, looking to amp up the pressure towards this B site. Tizian looking to move in. And Caden's got his 5-7 out. Maybe that small gun is good enough. Faven looking to contest it. Molly to the far end, but Shush is here to contest it. And that's how Big's advantage now crumbles under pressure. The Danes seem to be poised to get control of this. Shush again. Keto with all to do. A 1-on-3, but struggles behind that smoke. Cadian with again the 5-7 shot to get it done. Heroic seem to be on the server.
Definitely, and honestly, that was all Cadian. Like that kill with the 5-7 on Tizian, that was it. That was the round. Really good. I mean, he played what he had, the 5-7 in that position, the best position he could take. And he had his teammate watching short, and he could take the default angle towards balcony.
How vital is it for Big to win Mirage? You know, we know how they want to play aim-style maps right now. They've got to stand in. How vital is it for them to win this Mirage pick to make sure they qualify to the next round?
I mean, this is their like chance to take it to a third map perhaps, or even it is because they're mapping and they must have an idea. So it's a lot of like putting all your eggs in a basket kind of thing. And also for Kaito, he's very familiar with Mirage because he plays it all the time in FPL and such things. Yeah, I mean, this is a good map to play with a stand-in.
Big. Not too bad of a start, but now have gotten to pause their situation. Heroic gaining control and dismantling Big's economy. Therefore have to go for some sort of a pistol buy. Fairly slow really here from Big, not really going for any aggressive onto any site. Just playing it slow in mid.
They're trying to make Big use, Heroic use as much nades as possible and just, hurting the economy with time. If they get here, if they get 2-3 kills here, it's a perfect round.
Tapson just finds himself out into the open and Stavin takes care of him. You can see Heroic. They know the trick. They themselves don't want to use too much util. Stavin might be in trouble though, but no! That's Caden refresh from the back end. No damage found for Big. Everyone survives for Heroic.
Nice patience from Stavin to not re-peek for the 3rd time, but he had his cool and got saved by his teammates. It's really rough when you lose weapons when you don't have the economy, because really on CT you really need to save up as many people you can and not die against ecos. And they did a fairly good job.
Different frontier now for Big. They've got weapons. Again, what can we expect from Big here? How do we expect them to wrap around Heroic, given how they've been playing the past few days? Heroic fairly deep in mid right now. How do Big respond?
I think they have something in mind, like going towards both A and B at the same time.
So far though, splitting up the players hasn't seemed to work out for them. That's Tessa's final kill onto Tizian. And they find themselves on top. Big in trouble, no utility, no flashes, no smokes. How do they enter? Raw gun force is the name of the game for them now. Searson, and that's exactly what they do. Searson and Keto finding the openings. Out into the mid, pressure. Searson, another shot. All down to Testas. Got control over the A site and mid as well. He's kind of split between 2 positions, but if he's able to isolate them, wouldn't be too bad. Tapson right in front of him. Down to a single player now. Slowly making his way around. Searson won't be able to read the angle. Testas good enough to find the upper ground, and that's Heroic, unraveling themselves out of a very difficult situation.
Oh my god, really well played, but I must say that was a bit... I wouldn't agree with Bomb going out A and you have one guy in mid. Maybe let the mid guy go first, and because you have the Bomb, you can play out the 1v1 situation more easily, I would say, because now he's forced to go to the bomb, and Tesla can choose any position on A and just, you know, pick him off.
And now Big back again to those Deagles. Can't feel too great for them. But for Heroic, this is starting to look really good. Building up that momentum. Starting things off great on this round as well. Cadian given a few free kills. Well, just one. Could have been a second. But Stavin's fancying some aggression. Big find more like that. This could be doable. Searson up close. Cadian, only 1 point of health for him. Pretty relieved. Bomb to go down for Big, looking to buy up more time. Favin also regresses and has found himself an M4. This is actually turning out to be very difficult. k1to with damage. Favin as well. They've turned it around. Big have now nearly done this. And it all started with Deagles, and it's now down to Testers once again. He found it a moment ago. A 1 and 2. But this time the bomb planted, and now the pressure's all onto him. k1to with a lovely headshot puts Big back on top.
That was a 2 versus 5. God damn. Like, well played by k1to. Like, he didn't extend too much. He just got one shot off. And the guy who killed here, Stavin, he had nades to throw on default, but he stayed to take the fight, and k1to just outplayed him.
Heroic might be getting a little bit too greedy here.
This could be like a really frustrating round to lose, because 1, it was a force buy, and 2, you were 2 versus 5. I mean, that gotta kind of hurt. And I don't know who took the timeout, but I presume it's gonna be Heroic, just to calm the nerves down. But yeah, I mean, also I want to give credit to what they did the prior round to Big, because they had an idea what Heroic was gonna do, take mid heavily. Like, they know they like to take mid, and they were trying to hit the sites while that was happening, but it just didn't go their way. You saw 2 guys jumping down from A-apps, and nothing happened. They just got killed.
Ooh, very fast approach, Shush. Blind as a bat. Has to move out of that position, and Big looking to close in here. A little bit spread out here. Only 1 player lurking. It's Tizian as always. Heroic are going to challenge it. They love these positions. They do it once again, but it's a double up setup, mind you, for Heroic. Can't afford to be too aggro and lose those guns.
This is good information taken from Heroic yet again. They're in such a powerful positioning on A.
Oh, they've got so many good angles. They've let Big walk in, but they might be walking into a trap. Tessa's into a smoke. The moment he comes out of it, they'll be in trouble. No, he ends up falling, but Cadian jumps up, and that's Big down. They knew they had limited resources. They knew how they were supposed to play that. Let Big come in, and we'll just pincer around them. And now Favin will have to just try and stay alive. Economical dire situation here for them as well. Heroic balance the scales once again.
Yeah, Big really needed that round to build some momentum and break Heroic's economy. I must say again, like, Heroic out-positioning them in the early rounds. Like, they're pushing in A, pushing slow, pushing mid. They're always doing something, and as a T, it's really hard to play against.
And now Big, they're struggling. You can tell they're really struggling. They're finding rounds that they shouldn't really be finding, and then they lose ones that seem to be under their control. It's a bit back and forth. What you expect from from a lower bracket final. The victor of this match heading to the grand final to face up against Astralis. Big backing away from the fight in the A site, throwing a couple of nades, but opting out of it.
They bought an AK on Favin, and I think they should just go together and try to do something. Yeah, they're coming back to me. In this position, like, you really just want the pistols go first and the AK trade, and from there you just take it. Let's see where it goes.
Starting to see some energy here from the crowd. Let's see if that helps either of the teams. KD onto the back end here, of course, smoked off. The Big, they've managed to cross over into market. Okay, this could be difficult. They split the map in 2. Oh, k1to, he knows what he's got to do. Oh, Stavin, you may be in trouble. Oh, k1to. You sneaky man, walking right in front of him, looking right below him. Oh, Keto. Oh, and it's Favin to do it. Deep control over the B site. That's how Big are starting to move in. But Testes, the only member surviving now, but he's got control of it. Doesn't check his left side, and that's where Favin comes alive. Big have to go down. Big, such good movement from him. Overwhelm Heroic, catch them off guard, and this surely is going to be their round.
Oh my god, that from Kaito is so insane. That is a really FPL play, and we see it coming into this. Like, they had nothing, just an AK, and he had a Glock. And why he didn't choose to kill the Opper who was standing up? He told his teammate to kill him, so they didn't know where he was. And that is a 500 IQ play.
Look at Keto, man, standing in for this roster. I mean, he's played with Big a long time. I mean, he's played with Big for a long time, right? For a couple of years now, dropping to the Big Academy roster. Obviously, you'd love Crimbo to be here, but so far, Keto filling in his shoes nicely. Heroic looking to go some way here. They can't feel too comfortable still. The scale's fairly even. Could go either way. But I'm loving that there's smiles in the Big camp right now. They're feeling confident. They're feeling okay.
It's really nice to see when you're sitting on land, there's a lot of pressure, right? So on the scene, and when you see smiles and laughter, you kind of get more ease as a player, and you just like calm down, and really good atmosphere is needed. It's not only about being serious all the time, and we see that from Big. That is the most ideal way for a team to perform on LAN, in my opinion.
Yeah, coming into this tournament as well, I remember just sitting in the green room, and there were just some of Heroic's coaching staff there, and I remember one of them telling me, all right, well, I asked the boys early on in this tournament, how did they want to approach this tournament, right? Did they want to be loud? Did they want to be a little bit more calm? And the boys said, we want to be loud. And we've seen that earlier on with their chants, and here we go, another trade. Cadian with an AWP. Biggest gun in the Heroic camp so far. Oh, the assist, and you can't afford to miss those. Testes, though, walks into his crossfire, and just like that, it's Big to still stay on top. Big is the site they're heading to, and they will be finding it open. Heroic slowly realizing that is the case. Shush moving in over from the T-spawn side. But with the bomb going down, Big seem to set up really good post-plant positions. Oh, Kadia, the timing on that one. He would have loved to pick that one up, but Shush might be making this fathomable. Only finding a kill into System, saves another AWP, but they opt out of it. They're not going in for this one.
It's the right call. I mean, they know if they have double ops for next, and it's really hard to retake B site. It's a good call and good decisions from Heroic just to save the double op, and that's where they found success the fifth round.
And they keep on finding damage.
Yeah, they hurt their economy a bit, but wouldn't matter too much. I mean, they still have money for 2 more rounds.
The heat coming out of those fire cannons from the explosion of the bomb. Man, I could feel it up here, I swear. But heading into this one, Big 7-5. They've got a good advantage so far, but how far can they take it? What would be a good threshold for them to get onto the T side?
I mean, 7 rounds is really good. Like 8 is also good. Like, this is a very, it's kind of, how do you say it? It's pretty competitive either way.
You see Keto already shut down here. Some nades finding chip damage onto Tizian and Favin. Smoke off, but Big continue either way. Refresh coming into assist, and it's right on time as well. Heroic open up this round. It seems that Big kind of lost their balance here. Just moving in, dropping from all edges. At least Diston is finding some damage now, but I do believe it's a little bit too late.
Yeah, they're pretty locked in. I think they have the information where everyone is, kind of. And they will now try to even push further. And you see Big Heroic has 3 players on B as well. They're doing
there you go. All right, give him another kill. But Cadian's going to pick him up. No way. Oh, that's a gun. All right, he's going to pre-fire, isn't he? Or is he going to wait? He's going to wait, for good reason. Tabson's going to fall. And yeah, Heroic will be getting a 6 after this.
Yeah, and you see, even it looks kind of stupid that Refresh pushes that position, but they had 2 more players on B side. They were baiting them into B, and that, like, Cadian joining into B side saying, hey, Refresh, go aggro, and Refresh goes, and they bait in the Tabson to, you know, go forward, but then he dies. But that was a really good play. This is something you see a lot in Tier 1.
It's good to see here for Big, at least trying to stay in the game. Again, Heroic. They love these double op setups. And again, Big, looking for a standard A control play. Not too bad of a call for Heroic to have plenty of players in this direction, already pushing up towards mid, gives them the information. The wraparound is coming in as well, over from Spawn. Big, they're looking to push in here. Heroic know exactly what's going on, and they've got perfect angles to work with. Should survive for a little bit too long there, but Tizian looking to find the open, and Searson in their face, and that's Big with the advantage, looking to seize further control of the extremities. Tessers wants to keep Heroic in contention, and again, Stavern with an all-important backstab. It seems that Tabson may be wary of it, but he's not. Turns his back in time, and Heroic got perfect angles to work with. Favon needs to be the guy to bring up the duty. Searson also, but he's so low. Heroic are just going to play this meticulously slow. Smoke onto the bomb. Oh, the pre-fire into Firebox. They know Favon's nearby. Pre-firing even further. And it's all down to Searson with everything to do. That's the first. And now the time is getting to them, but Stavon's got a good angle. There's no way Searson can get it unless he finds a good headshot through the smoke. He does not. Equalization for Heroic.
Really good. Well played by Heroic, and also I have to give it to Big, but I cannot. They have to have some idea that they're always backstabbing, and in my opinion, just now keep and check on that on T-spawn. Like, you have to have an eye out. If they do it twice against you, the third time, like, you gotta expect it.
Should we be expecting a little bit more fast pace from Big here, considering when they've taken their time? Heroic, plenty of time to find the information. Are we going to see that adaptation, you reckon?
I mean, it's the last round. Not much else to do. Heroic has almost had mid every round in the early round, like in beginning of the round. And Big has responded well sometimes, and you know, it hasn't gone to their favor each time, which is. We see, you know, them getting backstabbed.
Looking back to yesterday's matches as well, Big had the tendency to start maps off well, but also had the similar tendency of just falling flat as soon as momentum is being built up on the opposing side. Maybe we're seeing signs of that again, but still early doors, still another half to play. But only one flash remaining on the Big camp, which you know has to be used at the most vital point to get them across.
The Bobman's still behind the mid boxes in mid. I'm not sure if they want to actually end up B. I think they just want to perhaps fake a B split or something. Now the bomb is moving. Yeah, it most likely they want to like split A while faking B.
The bomb is still in spawn. Tabson looking to wrap around as well, but look at the bomb moving. Are they going to sell that fake? Favon dry peeking so far. Bomb looking at this. That is Shush in the smoke, perfectly placed. That keeps them alive. Tizen on the other end though. They might even open up the site towards the B site, but they're running out of time. Can they get the bomb down in time? But that is a bait and switch. They bait all Heroic players towards that B site, open up that A site, and get the bomb down.
They still don't know. They might just play B as the...
Oh! They don't know.
They might think it's still B.
And they're stuck in the middle of all players.
Stavern caught up to it though.
A little bit too late. Cadian looking to stay alive. No, misses a shot, and Tizian is there to pick up the pieces. Big, a very nice round. Playing Heroic like a fiddle. And that looks to be putting themselves on top at halftime. Looking at an 8-7 score. Stavern has to fall. Big are on top.
What a round. Like, that round is so hard to execute, and especially they did it so well because of the time. It was 20 seconds left, and they still did it at the last second to, you know, get the bomb down and get into positions. But it's a very risky tactic, in my opinion, because there could have been so many things that could go wrong, and you have only like 6 seconds to plant. That might not be enough. There might be one guy still hiding somewhere on A and just picking you off. But they sold it really well on B. If they didn't get those 2 frags on B, there would be no rotation from Heroic.
Very acrobatic Heroic were there from Tizian, actually, right? Just jumping over, getting that headshot was a little bit too close, right? It could have gone either way, but they got it done, and that's the important part. And now heading to another frontier, switching sides, Big now on the CT side. Heroic, the aggressors. Big are comfortable on the CTs. Shush, opens things up here. And now has cleared out Palace. You can see the response from Big. They want to enter the A site quickly. Keto spotted out the first movement, but they're also coming in from the sidelines. Cadian looking to put some shots into Faven's body, and there you go. Refresh wants to follow it up. It seems that every one of the big players are starting to lose out on their trades, and it's costing them. Heroic looks to have gathered control. Not too bad. Tapson looking to bounce back here. Tesses with a rotation. Fearson holds it back, though. Could this be a 2v3? No, Staven wants to put a pause to that. Taps's chances not looking great. The IGL of the roster looking to find some damage here. El Capitan, but won't be doing it this time around. It's Heroic quickly to equalize with a pistol win.
Well played by Heroic. I mean, they played it perfectly. They played very dynamic. Like, they got contact in APS, the APS guy didn't move. Next contact was in slope, next contact was in connector. And that is really hard for Big to actually know, like, set up something and, you know, let's peek them together. But there's one guy there, one guy there. It's nearly impossible to outplay them in that position.
Yeah, Big, I mean, they got really picked up one by one there, didn't they?
Yeah.
I mean, really spread out. But now, you know, Heroic definitely got the weapons to take this on with. We've always wanted to see more aggression from Big, and whether this will be the CT side to do it, not quite sure. Probably want to stay to things that they're familiar with. Oh, Tizian! Oh, doesn't find a single kill there. A grand opportunity missed to maybe find some damage to put Big in contention, but yeah, that's not going to happen.
It looked really funny when he missed those shots, but you don't... Like, it's hard to explain, but it's so hard when someone is moving and they're not looking at you and you're shooting with a deagle, you will miss the first shot. And if you miss the first one, you miss the second one, you just like start spraying the deagle and then it goes everywhere. And
it's hard.
It's hard, you know, just don't meme him.
Don't meme him, guys. Yeah, Golden has been in that position before. Even pro players do it. All right, okay. Well, at least some damage is being found. They wouldn't mind to recover a couple of rifles. Okay, all right. That's a Galil picked up. I don't think Keto will be able to find anything from the position he's in, but at least he's saving his Kevlar on helmet. But Heroic, yeah, they're going to carry on 2-0 as expected for them, but this is perhaps where the challenge starts to begin.
Yeah, even like losing 2 people there, like knowing how it is to play on the stage, when you play against a force spy, sometimes those rounds are even harder than actual weapon rounds, because when the CTs or when the opponent has a force spy, they do some stuff that you're not expecting, or they're just in a position, or you don't have enough nades to clear them out. It is really OP.
Big with just a few pistols, Galil in hand for the Faven side. Okay, puts it in good use, opens things up here. I mean, you kind of expect Heroic to overwhelm on all angles, but Big are trying to play the rotation game correctly. And Tizian actually is locked into a really difficult spot. Does end up losing his teammates in the meantime. Heroic find the weak links. Able to isolate them, take them down. And with the bomb planted, Tizian with a decision to make, commitment, trying to find some kills himself. He knows he's buying up next round either way. Okay, stays alive for a little bit longer. He can have that.
If he gets the AK, it's a really good save. He tries to go for it. Well, he might just want to die, because when the bomb explodes and the T's win by the bomb explosion, you get more money. And yeah, but now he gets the AK, you can just save. It is fine. But
oh, will he be allowed to though? Will he be allowed to? No, he'll get killed. That's double digits here for Heroic, the first to find it. They were below the scoreline of Big at halftime, but now 3 consecutive ones put them on top.
We're gonna see the first weapon buy round from Big, and I would like to see them what Heroic did against them, being aggressive, being in mid, or doing, you know, taking information somewhere. You don't want to play CT Mirage as other maps. You want to be stagnated. You want to do something all the time.
Ooh, Favon could be in a really difficult spot. He's in the smoke there. Will call for reinforcements. Tapson able to open things up in this particular round, but Favon walks out of the smoke. Searson putting that AWP to good use. The star player of yesterday's performances and the days before. Looks like he wants to come alive again. Testes responds nicely. Finds him through the smoke. Heroic still to work with 3. And as they approach the B site, could be the best opportunity for them. Shush to the far end, unable to pick up Tizian. But he will drop away just in the nick of time because Tizian is going after him. But look at k1to. He's the man you need to look at for Big right now. If Heroic have a chance to push through here, they need to make sure they take him out.
Really good positioning by Tizian to call to his teammates is not A.
Yeah, they're going to check this. And that is how k1to dies. Quickly onto the site, looking to open things up. Tabson spraying it down. Still Big on top with the numbers. Favon finds a good side angle. Shush there to deliver. Oh, Shush with another. And now it's Tabson up against him. It's a duel with 34 seconds to work with and count, and Molly by the side of the feet of Big. Tabson will have to fall. Shush with a 1-on-3. He gets it done.
One of the most underrated players, Shush. He's so good. I mean, not only that he can clutch, he's also playing the anchor role in a lot of maps, and he does it so well.
Such a brilliant round. We thought Big were on top there, where they were going to play the trade game, and all of a sudden Shush was able to find them one by one, right? In connector, then into short. It looks like he was just leveling up fields, trying to play the big boss at the end, but it was never a challenge for him. Every single time, getting that duel down. And now that forces Big into a very uncomfortable situation, right? We've got pistols to work with, and up close and personal, those MAC-10s can do a hell of a lot of damage. k1to looking to level the playing field, but it is going to be a tough one. With those rifles just raining hot lead at you, he can't be all that comfortable. Tapson again with a bullet to the head of Teslas, keeping things close, but, you know, it's going to be the same story again, right? Try and find damage, try and find AKs all over again. Heroic, though, will look to control this game now, right? If they win this particular one, which it looks quite likely, we're looking at a 4-round advantage here.
Yeah, and like having played against Heroic, when they get their momentum, it's so hard to know what they're gonna do because they have such a fast-paced rounds where they can pop A, pop B. Like one guy runs out mid, he's already short, and then he gets contact, and next contact is 4 people jumping out A apps or 4 people jumping out B apps. It is really hard to play against them when they have momentum, and it's now for Big to really try to stop that, and you know, just playing perhaps them taking the information before Heroic gets to do something fancy.
That is 5 in a row now for Heroic. They're looking comfortable on the T side. Big yet to find their saving grace, but doubling up on those big guns of green once again. Heroic looking to go for a big hit now towards this lower tunnel side. Trying to control some space early in case Big over-aggress. Big are going to play this down slow. Favon! A pre-fire from Cadian gets it done. It's through the wall as well. And that's one of the AWPs now gone from the camp of the German. Shush opens things up towards the other side as well. That's more like it. And now they've got space to work with. Weakening the CT side, the defenses. They need to spread them across correctly. And it seems the read might not be accurate for Big as they've only got one here towards this A site. Oh, that's gotta hurt. And of course, with bullets flying right at him, there's nothing else he can do apart from just fall gracefully to his grave.
That is such a good round. Like, they get a pick on B, fall back, make an A execute. Fair, like, really good time with everything nades and like positioning when they space to take the A site. You see them doing this is so nice to see. Like it is hard to. It looks easy, but it's hard to like do it. I mean, great shots by Kaden as well. That shot is not easy to make. To go from the left side angle and search out the upper, that is not an easy task.
He's at the level he's at for a reason, this man. I mean, we've seen a lot of these rounds, right? A lot of them have been very highly tactical, and it kind of falls in hand with how Big like to play this game. Heroic adapting around it as well. They've got the good reads. Heroic work best when they work on preparation. And it's obvious, right? They know exactly how to perform around Big's angles. They know exactly where to place their players. And it seems Big are struggling to find their B and C plans to kind of adapt and catch them off guard.
Right now, what Big is doing is they're playing like 1 by 1, which is like now Tizian. If Tizian didn't die in AAPS, the round that Heroic wanted to do would be much more complicated. But because they're so individually skilled and they can take those duels and they're searching every angle almost perfectly, it is kind of hard for Big, you know, to play those angles, because essentially you want to play as a team, you want to get those trades as CT, but they're not getting them. It is because they're playing in such an all-in positions as CTs right now. Maybe they're talking over it now and not trying to change something up.
Yeah, of course. Got to feel alive. All right, okay, that's Parla, Dinko and the boys in the stands, okay. Looking to watch at the game, 13-8 here for Heroic, right? This is Big now struggling massively. They've kind of put in all their hopes onto tabseN and Sis in this particular round. It's very crucial where they place these players. They want to contest sooner rather than later. Looking to fall flat, that's tabseN with 2. Not too bad of a deed, but Cadian quickly shutting him down. Now the wraparound here from Heroic, looking to respond accurately by going towards spawn and heading towards this A site, as Big have gathered full mid control. But it could be a little bit of a fake as well.
Yeah, they faked you out, but yeah, it looked like they were gonna go A. But it is, I mean, good play by tabseN. That's what they need. They need to kind of stop their aggression. But he wasn't alone. He got flashes. They did something together, and that's why he got 2 kills. Which is, they looked very easily, but they were goddamn planned as well.
Big somehow on top in numbers. So with Crossfire, it's not an impossible round, but of course with the overwhelming firepower of Heroic, still a lot to do. Now they've gathered some recon now towards this mid side, right? Refresh pushing all the way forwards. Market now to be taken over. csgo, the other guy with a big gun, still gets it. That's exactly what you want to see for Big. Their win conditions just working out perfectly. Now stavN and Cadian with all to do. Both fairly split one from the other. And I think now they realize they're outnumbered. I think the save is imminent.
It all depends on what stavN can do. If he gets 1 kill, he might get some rotations. But he doesn't see anyone, and Big is not giving anything away.
Ultra safe, knowing what they have to do, backing away. Okay, Cadian, that's one. But do you expect the other one on site? I don't think you will. That's a deagle shot to the side of the head. And that means that Big will be winning a round that shouldn't have been theirs. How do they make these deagle rounds win? But I guess it wasn't the deagles, right? It was the rifles. But still, an all-important one for Big to get into the game.
Yeah, I mean, they took a tactical timeout and spoke about it, which was great response from tabseN in the beginning. You know, you have to fight them back. You cannot let them do whatever they want. And they did it in such a manner where he almost will get one no matter what. And that was really good run by tabseN and the guys. And well played by Kite as well, hiding in B sides.
Now they've let Heroic play around quite a bit on this T side, but as history has shown us, Big quite familiar on the CTs, the ones they favor the most. But often when they begin their games on the CT side, they have most success. Now Tizian flashed over. It looks like it's going to be a quick hit here from Heroic. Tessers looking to open things up, moving ever forward. tabseN, an aggressive movement from him. And now Big also looking to split their players 2 per side. Now maybe want to enter jungle, but Heroic don't want to plant yet. They want to take control. And csgo will be the next in contention. Bomb will go down. Oh, that's unlucky. draws out the smoke, and that's Refresh putting him to his grave. Tapston also holds on, big in trouble, unless Favon is able to get them out of it. 2 players now towards jungle, one to get towards connector for Heroic. Refresh with an AWP, that's the perfect angle to hold. There is a smoke though for Big. They find the right chance. Favon, oh, he's looking. Dropping it. HG to the side, they're gonna stick it. Oh, they're unable to find the shots, they're unable to find the spray. Shush falls, bomb gets defused, Big on double digits.
Oh, wow. It looked really dire for Big, but somehow they made it back and just, you know, throw a smoke on the bomb and just defuse. That worked well. It's a round where Heroic might, I mean, they shouldn't have lost it, but really well played by Big to, you know, just, you don't have a big chance to win that round. You just have to go for the defuse, and they did it really well. And unlucky for Refresh to pick up an AWP instead of a rifle, and he can't spam the bomb.
Heroic might be finding an opportunity to move up into apartments here, but Kito's looking to be a thorn. Searson, aggressive movement. He was all by himself, by the way, unassisted. That was all him. Tapson, though, the only defender of the B site, has to fall, but Favon looking to hold it down. He's got a big gun of green of his own and wants to use it. Looks to fall back, looking for reinforcements. Oh, just holding back until his teammates arrive was a perfect thing to do. And Cadian, oh, what a brilliant shot, but unfortunate, not a game-winning one. It's Big to come out on top.
Yet again, they're playing really smart. They're not trying to, you know, overwhelm the B site when the bomb is being planted. They're just waiting for Heroic to make the mistakes, and that's exactly what happened when Refresh pushed into kitchen. He knew there must be someone coming to help Favon. Like that is very common that a lot of people rotate to into kitchen. In my opinion, that was again a round where Heroic making mistakes in the after plant and Big winning on it.
Can we attribute any of this to Big forcing out these mistakes, or do you reckon it's more about Heroic not really being in charge of their mental right now? Do you reckon, because we've seen this a couple of times this tournament so far, we've seen it against Fnatic when there were things thrown at them that they weren't really prepped for, when they're kind of forced to play in these uncomfortable situations that they don't have the read on, is this where they start to fall flat, or is this Big kind of taking charge of it?
I think in this particular round, because Kaito was in B apps and coming from the flank, and he got the bomb in B apps, it was really hard for them to stay on the B site if they needed to take some position, like they need to take kitchen, but he did it alone. That was the problem. Like, he couldn't stand against 3 people alone in kitchen. But also, I think the nerves kind of getting to them slowly.
Slowly getting a little bit closer here, but it's a rapid approach here. Oh, Refresh! Taken down, Favon looks in control. Heroic look to move in, but it's a slow one, and Favon finds another side angle, traversing around this B site, and if it's his second home, AK to the side, Testes wants to put him down, but Tapson has come in as well. Cadian with up against 3, with multiple angles to fend off against, he stood no chance, and Big were able to take over.
That was really good. And from Heroic's perspective, they try to do something fast-paced towards B because they know Big is playing double up, and they're trying to get into those like close spaces. But Favon, what a great shot! Even no-scope the guy towards almost short or B short plant. That is really hard to even hit those shots on B. I mean, they're flying flashes over, and he still does that. I mean, it's not even their AWPer.
Second AWPer really for this squad, and leveling up. And
Big has an idea. Like, they come into Mirage, they have planned their game plan to play double up, and we see that the first or second buy round they immediately bought the double up. So they have an idea how to play against Heroic, and they are well prepared. What it looks like, at least on CT side. On T side, it was more like winning those unusual rounds with eco, like pistol coming from in the flank or whatnot.
Yeah, they've been running quite a lot on this double AWP setup, right? We saw it a little bit on the T side as well when it was given the opportunity, but mostly here, as the defenders, It seems to be looking like their go-to. But now the AWP is shot to Searson, a man you really want to see elevating the play for Big. One of the other high hitters other than Crimbo, but of course Keto standing in for him today. Thankfully they're familiar with the man. Heroic this time around, they've got pistols, can't be all that confident. Couple of smokes now lining up towards that ace site. They're looking to move in and Tapson might be in trouble, and he is. Tech Knight shot between the two eyes, Favon controlling through mid, and that's the bomb. And that gives an opportunity here for Keto, and Cadian won't be able to support it. Searson, a collateral, reminiscent of Vertigo play of a couple of days ago. This man is as casual as ever with that gun.
Yeah, I mean, as an upper, he hasn't had a lot of action, and getting those 2 kills with 1 shot, I mean, it builds up your confidence, right? So for him, and he looks pretty damn calm, and I must say, he has nice hair, just like mine.
Now Big have to fend off against the guns of Heroic. This time around we've got a switcheroo for Heroic. Kind of placing one player towards Palace, but it seems that Big have got a right idea with the utility sent over. Sneaking in position. You
have to give it to Big as well. Like, they didn't play the double op previous round because they knew Heroic had a force buy. So they didn't want to get in this uncomfortable position, and they just bought a rifle, and now they upgraded to an op, which is they sticking to their plan, and it's nice to see.
Big are really sticking to their plan, right? No rotations, Heroic, whatever they're throwing at them, kind of stay composed. But now we're starting to see a double up towards ramp, and it could be in good time. Refresh looking to challenge it.
This is really hard to clear. Like if you're alone, now someone is joining up, it is not easy to clear those 2 angles. And I'm excited to see how they're going to do it.
Big have really got the perfect setup here, especially considering Heroic are now starting to move in this direction. Smoke's lining up towards the back end of this site. If they're able to take control of a ramp, there's no way Heroic find themselves in. Searson lines up the first shot. Tizian bouncing back up from it, expecting someone from Palace, looking away from the flash. Oh, shot missed. Now looking to move in from mid. That is Searson carrying it onwards. Cadian, though, shuts it down, and so does Tessus. Equal standing, equal footing. But 10 seconds to work with, and the pressure's on for Heroic to get that plot down. Big will be denying it from all edges. They're now on top, taking the steering wheel back. They want to drive this car to victory.
I mean, Searson got that. Like, his positioning, he was almost... he was in big trouble, but he got out of it and got a kill and baited the first guy to die, and he legged Refresh to finish him off. But that kill on Favon, that was the most important one.
So good from them. The read was there. Heroic weren't really given much, were they? No, limited utility at the start of that round.
Yeah, they were jiggling and playing it almost perfect from their side, but Big just did it better.
They were just better. You heard it here, folks. Tizian starting things off here for Big. Oh, Tizian, he actually finds a second one here. Coming alive when it's most required. A winning case scenario for them. A must, this Mirage pick. Now Heroic struggling to figure out how they're able to unravel themselves out of their knot they've gotten themselves into. Ooh, Keto coming in from behind. But it doesn't seem like it's going to matter too much, right? Already the kill's falling in place, but then Tapson seems to be dealing with him by himself, low in health. And that means that Big pretty much solidified this round unless Stavant comes out with magic.
That was all Tizian. Like, he got those 2 kills in A apps and just shut down the round. And, you know, Heroic don't know really what to do in mid. They cannot go up A because they have no cover from anyone from A site. So they just had to stay in mid and wait for any mistakes that Big was going to make, but there were none.
And that's how he goes. Big on 15. 1 round away from taking down their own map pick. And that's what you want to see if you're a Big fan, if you're a German watching at home or either on the stadium. There are not many of you, I know, not in the stadium at least. But the few that they are here are making their voices heard.
I'm not sure if Heroic has really good money to buy, you know, the bigger guns. They might just try to go for an A, like an execute on either B or A. Just overwhelm the site with nades and flashes, because Big is still running the double op setup.
And it seems to be working out great for them, right? I mean, multiple times, whether that is Searson carrying the shots, you know, you've got the B extremity covered as well.
Yeah, no AKs, just Galils and 1 MAC-10. It looks like to be a fast-paced round.
It's got to be, right? Big with clear momentum here. And it's all down to Heroic to break that down. Quick flash into under. Searson might be there, but how far back can he fall? He's gotten one, but not challenged by Heroic. Now they're walking in, and they're moving into the molly. Shush taking so much damage, but he looks to close out the gap. That is Searson dead. AWP recovered. And now this could be an opportunity. Keto throwing down a smoke to cover his tracks, because Heroic, they're looking to push forwards. They're looking to put a stop to this madness. But Keto has another plan of his own. They've already rotated over. Falvin with an off angle. Not a shot you want to miss, though. Heroic looking to hold on, but yet to find comfort to put that bomb down. Cadian up close. Tizian looking to find the right angle, but Heroic put a stop sign in front of them. Pull the brake handle. And Heroic look to carry on here, looking to take it to overtime.
Yet again, that kill from Shush onto Searson, that was so vital. Because if Searson survived, he could have, they needed to kill him to cut off information that they could not go, he had information they could not go to mid from underground. Then that meant for them, they had to kill him because they don't want them to stack B.
Searson punished that last time around. I'm sure he's kicking himself for not being able to find that second shot. But with so much thrown at him, such a difficult position to be in. But now, he might be able to bring his team around. He's already damaged up a bit. That definitely hinders the confidence. But the boost is coming through. Keto, oh, he can expect it, but he can't see it. Oh, is Tabson wary of it? Oh, Stavin's got such a great angle. But Tabson, he's smart enough to check it. And now Heroic need to find a different avenue into this, right? They've been given mid-control, but they want more. And this is where Tessus is able to find themselves an advantage. Short control can now be gained. And there's only one holding it here for the B site. It's got to be Falvin to do it.
They have a really good setup here either way. But double op, I mean, it is going to be rough.
Especially if Heroic start to moving forwards. But if Big are able to find pot shots like that, it wouldn't be too bad. No, Distance misses it. Refresh again, but no! Falvin doesn't get it done! And Heroic are taking charge of it. Mistakes made by Big. An opportunity handed over. And Heroic will take that hurdle.
That is really unfortunate. Are we looking to head to overtime here?
We really could be. Tizian and Tabson may want to make sure they recover the mistakes the teammates made a second ago. Refresh though, what an angle to hold. The spray down comes off. Tizian up against another two. But it's Heroic to take us to the long haul. They're taking us to OT.
What a first map. That is as close as you can be competitively. I mean, a bit like small mistake. I didn't see there was an op, but they were double opping on B site. That is the worst case for Big to hold any like explosion or executes on B site, because when the flash is coming, you're not that agile, or you cannot have that mobility as a rifle, and they were just stuck in their positions. And yes, we see Falvin missing a shot, but that in his position, that they could be right in the smoke, they could be behind him, they could be anywhere. So it's like really stressed to make that shot.
All right, overtime, round number 1 here. Big, of course, CT side, still their own. Stabbin, very aggressive. That is confidence rebuilt for the Danish side. But it seems that Tizian wants to take a chunk out of this pie. Shush says no. That's mine, I've claimed it. And that means that Big are already down by 2. Keto wanted to take charge at it. They're trying to push out these extremities. They're stumbling up on hurdles here. And Heroic, every single time, coming out on top. Oh, this has got to hurt even further. Tapson trying to hold it down from short. Has to give the information over to Searson. Oh, it's just a leg. And that means he will be unable to find a single kill. Heroic seem to be able to survive with all. Keto. Oh, yeah, mate. He'll try it. He'll give it a go. We'll give it a spinneroo. HG to the side. That can be some splash damage over. Oh, that is down. Turns around. Could this be the clutch ace?
He doesn't have a kid, but he has a lot of nades.
And Shush has got the perfect angle. He could just hold Smoke to go down. Touching it once, waiting for someone to come out into the open, but Refresh will be able to find it. Nice try around, but it's still Heroic to take it.
Yeah, some constellation frags to Kaito, you know, building up some confidence. But yeah, that round, that went really fast, and it was merely just like seeing Big going aggressive pretty much everywhere, and it didn't go their way.
And that will start things off very nicely here for Heroic. They've been able to come back after Big had such an explosive start to, well, end to the second half at least.
Yeah, no double op setup on Big this time.
Now that seemed to have been their answer on multiple occasions, hasn't it? Now they have to switch up their plan. Oh, Favon, he would have loved that pick. Tapson, a little bit prolonged, meaning that Tessus has got the opportunity to come in and trade it. And that means that Big now down by 1 as Heroic wrap towards this B site. Is Keto calling in the reinforcements. He knows that there's something going around here. The flash being lined up here from Tessus will start to initiate this attack. Keto, he's shown his ground, but the flash is surely not all smoke. His opponent walks in front of him, spray down comes across, still conceals himself, but Cadian with the right corner. Searson up close. This is where he needs to come alive. But unfortunately, he gets overwhelmed. Shush tells him to be quiet. And that is yet again Heroic looking to grab another round.
They really like that B site. You can see as long as they get some kills, they just want to end up on B. It looks like they kind of thought that Big might have a double op setup and they want to go for B explosion again. But they did not. And really unfortunate timings all around on all kills almost. Like, it could easily have gone towards Big side when they exploded B. Because as the first guy jumping out from B apps as a T, you're actually just thinking that most of the time that guy is just a sacrifice because he most of the time he gets killed immediately. But because of Refresh jumping down and getting that space, it really made Kaito really uncomfortable staying in this position. And that's why we see him, you know, widening out. It looks really stupid, but he has no option almost.
Yeah, really has to come in aggressive there to take an opportunity that isn't handed to him. He needs to create it himself. And the pressure is mounting. Big have been on match point, right? And it's Heroic to take us to overtime, and it's Heroic to lead as well by 2. Keto could be finding contact, a little bit rough around the edges there. And that means that Stavin will punish. Trade by Tapson. Now there are nerves that are mounted, you can tell. Shots missed that you don't really expect from these players. Tizian in. That's a good opportunity for Big to gather some space, and you can see the consolidation for this. Big have moved around. Look at the 3 players. Smoked behind. Refresh looks to regress. Misses on most of them, but the final shot will make its mark. And that's a deadly mark onto Tapson. Sisson looking to wrap around here. It seems that Big are able to collapse upon them from Palace, and now they're composed. Favon knows there's no reason to push. They've got the site control. And as long as they know where the Heroic players are and they're able to contain them, but Refresh, they had no clue where he was coming from. And now this is troubling. Now you need to look at 2 directions simultaneously, and all of a sudden, it's Favon all by himself. And Cadian, look at that, he knows.
He has the bomb.
He bloody knows. And that is where Favon falls. Flawless half on overtime here for Heroic. 3 for them, none for Big.
That was really... I was gonna say biting my nails, but when Cadian, he went back to slope to kill Favon with the bomb, I was scratching my head. I mean, that is really risky, but, you know, he has some confidence to do that.
Yeah, and Refresh's push, right, from spawn was everything to get them back into that. I think Big sort of expected both of the players to kind of be locked into a ramp. Maybe if they was coming in from mid, you could have expected a connector crush. But no, he went all the way around. He knew they were playing with time there, but it was their only way back in. And they were able to catch them off guard. Beautiful stuff from Heroic, really finding these advantages. These minute movements that make the entire difference. Hope dies last though for Big. We've seen overtimes converted like this before. Their T side was more favorable than the CT. They got 8 this time around.
Something I used to say when we were in like this kind of situations, like if they can do it, we can do it as well. It became a meme in Sweden.
Let's see if it's a meme this time around or it actually comes to fruition. Brick Smoke casting out the molly, but Shush is going in here. Oh, this is a great start for Heroic. Now Big, the game plan around mid, looking to unravel onto Stavern, but he also finds himself in an elevated position to take one down, and even wants to go in for more. On top of that smoke, Axe has a one-sided one as well, and there's Tapson there waiting for him. Might opt up for another one, but the jump Reno from Tapson to move into window. Refresh is there to stop him, and Tizian all of a sudden realizes this seems to be the end, and it's all down to me to stop it. Spray down comes through, expects the angle from Stavern. But this could be the beginning of the end. Golden AK, but the opportunity is more golden for Heroic. Only 18 points of health, and Heroic know they can just wait it out. No need to play aggressive. No need to get out into the open. And as soon as he swings, he will have to fall. It's Heroic to take down Big's home ground and go 1-0 in this series.
Really well played by Heroic to come back with that, like they had the momentum, but they lost it. But then again, they come back in the overtime. As Kaden mentioned before, they always seems to be winning in the overtimes and they're not crumbling. But that was too close to comfort, I would say. But yeah, they got the job done.
A very close map to start off this series, but ladies and gents, heading to a short break. We'll be back very soon.